Military-industrial complex only exists
because
it's a democratic
but
process.
not the majority.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You think so?
Yeah,
we all
I can
think
see,
that.
I can tell from the world.
But you can tell from the 5 minutes that you've met me.
No, not you personally. I know, of course.
But who's then you?
The list are changing year to year. You're here this year because somehow they...
You mean Bilderberg?
Bilderberg, yeah.
There's all kinds of different people at Bilderberg.
Yeah, every year. You're here this year because they have somehow decided that you are helpful in the plan this time.
I don't know. You're making a few policemen a bit nervous because you're coming closer into me. But I don't mind. But
we're very peaceful.
I just tell you.
We're dangerous. We are very peaceful.
Yesterday you were talking about aging.
Yes.
Depopulating. I thought it sounded like eugenics. Can you explain again?
Well, it was just a discussion about the fact that, for instance, in Denmark and in the Netherlands, but also in loads of other Western, and also China and Japan, people get older every year. Life expectancy rises, which is a good thing because it has to do with health and welfare, etc. But it also poses some problems for society as a whole. And politicians are appointed, are elected.
What specific problem?
Pensions, the fact that we have a smaller workforce and more retired people, the fact that we have less children and more retired people. It's not a problem, but it's a challenge for society to adapt. And we need to adapt in order to affect that.
I mean, through immigration?
Well, immigration would be a solution, or part of a solution for that.
So to dilute
but not everybody
the Indo-European cultures even more.
You
want to dilute the European culture and create multiculture.
I like a diverse society, but I know there's people that don't like it.
I'm not saying I don't like
Is it the government's
cultures.
job to take care of its citizens?
Sorry?
Is that government's sole purpose to take care of its citizens?
It should be.
And how do we actually actualize that?
Well, by voting as a wave, we don't. So every 4 years you have the chance to say, well, you are not acting in the general interest, you go away.
You think that's been successful so far?
Well, it's the best system we have, with loads of flaws and loads of mistakes, but I haven't found a better system yet.
I don't think we've been allowed to.
The human race.
We're not allowed to opt out.
We all get in there at one point. I've heard about systems who have tried that.
You mean all together? Yeah, we already discussed direct democracy. So we're going to stand on a parking lot and we just decided that climate change is a hoax.
Not like that.
That was basically decided.
No, the climate has always changed. The climate has always changed.
It's not man-made.
You just try to make CO2 to a new...
I will be more precise. Man-made global warming is a hoax, according to you. I don't agree with you, but I'm a very small minority.
But you have no say.
I do think the discourse changed from talking about global warming to climate change. That was a peculiar change in discourse. I'm quite sure that there's people like you and others who found out that your scam was perhaps not going so well with that.
Well, I'm starting to talk about
phrase being used.
Let's try to agree on something. I'm starting to talk about something else, a new energy future. I mean, even if man-made global climate change would be a hoax, oil and gas, we're running out of it. So we have to find new ways to produce our energy. Do you agree?
Do you think
then we can start working, because that's actually the only way we can act.
Don't you think the best way is to open up the market, free markets competing against each other to make a profit from the best energy source that provides the most energy for the least cost?
Sometimes it's a solution, but you have to be careful with it. But it's part of the solution. We saw it with Chinese solar panels. A market was opened up between China and the rest of the world, and solar energy became a lot cheaper. Sometimes market mechanisms work.
If governments are working with companies and they're doing favors and doing backdoor deals with certain corporations and not others, then it closes off the market.
That was not what we were discussing.
But I'm asking, if that happens, right, that's not going to create progress, because it's going to stagnate the market, and it's not going to develop the price
But if the government does that, you are allowed to send that government away.
I hope so.
If it's a democratic government,
I'm going to hold you to that.
Democracy.
I'll write you a letter when that comes up.
Can we do something about it? Like, for example, make a limit on how much
we have to,
a single person
I'm a social democrat. I sincerely believe that
Can you let me talk finish, please?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, what if we make a limit on capitalism and say you can earn this much
That's socialism.
Yes.
Then say, okay, we have this pile of money, and we actually spend this money on the people who don't have it.
Yeah. Good idea.
So we
No.
can make
Because that money
Spreading the
will
wealth.
never go to the people. It will never go to the people.
welcome on ours.
Well, some difference in income will be inevitable, I think, but they shouldn't become too big. You're right. So that you need a government to, for instance, impose taxes on rich people so that we can give some
Why
money
shouldn't
to
rich people make their money that they've earned?
I think you have to discuss with each other because I don't think you agree with her.
But you agree with him.
Sorry about that.
Now that you have a past as an agent of environmentalism, what's your view on such a thing as smart grid?
It's a nice way of doing demand-side management, meaning that we use less energy if we have a smarter
But it's a
energy
centralized
grid.
system that potentially can be Orwellian in its structure.
Yeah, if it's monopolized.
In its big data collection.
That's exactly one of the downsides. Yes.
Excuse
But
me?
there's also some positives.
Of course,
And now we have to weight them
as
and-
an absolute negative.
Precisely.
When you look at
That's
technology.
why you weight the positives and the negatives. I think you can handle the privacy problems with it, but if you don't, we have a real problem.
So
If
you
you
don't
do-
believe in decentralized solutions when it comes to energy infrastructure?
But a smart grid is, in a sense, also a decentralized solution, but in a bigger system. And then you go with your argument about privacy. You're right. You're right. That's something we need to take care of.
So a question about what you talked about in there. I mean, are there some of the real important questions? For example, that the bees are dying. I mean, that is something that really matters. You talked a bit about privacy. I mean, I would imagine you talked about how we can decrease the privacy. I mean, that we still have some left. That, for example, we know it cures to cancer. I mean, the
Why
pharmaceutical.
do you think the bees are dying?
Because of environmental pollution, maybe radiation from mobile phones. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I was just good because you thought man-made global warming was a hoax, but on this side we are on the same side. I do think we have to
I
be
believe
careful
there's a
with
lot of
chemicals.
pollution that a lot of shit companies do. I mean, these are the real issues. Also about privacy.
Yes.
What about how
We
we fight
discussed it.
disease? I mean, pharmaceutical
it.
industries, they don't really help us. Most of us know that by now. There are cures to cancer. There are cures to almost any disease.
Yeah,
When is this coming out to the people?
Let me give you another dilemma. If you want to cure cancer, suppose that you can. You need big data for it.
What?
You need very big data.
You go to water fast.
No, you need to know why cancer's existing and what kind of.
Scientific basis.
You need a scientific database of enormous amount. And there you are
We
again.
have cured other things.
You go to
Well, yeah, but we haven't cured
individuals
cancer.
working quite.
We haven't cured cancer.
You surrender? No, the pharmaceutical industry have not.
Could be one of the solutions, but not for everyone. You cannot
No,
cure all, but
I'm
you
telling
cannot
you.
cure all cancer with chemicals. No, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
No, there are loads.
Specifically, are you bringing to Bilderberg this year?
Sorry?
What specifically are you bringing to Bilderberg this year?
Myself.
But why
Nothing
why
more
you
than
and
that.
not a different politician?
I think what they always do, it's Europe and the US, and it's the Bilderberg sort of tradition. And from every European country, they ask somebody from
They haven't
scientists.
asked you because
They ask
you've got a specific
there's
experience.
a
in
Dutch
the certain
scientist
field.
in there, there's some Dutch business people, and some Dutch politicians, and that's for all countries.
Right.
So basically, you try to have a mix, and it's sort of randomly selected. I'm not important, so
Do they need
I'm
you as a
randomly
politician
selected.
or a nuclear engineer?
I'm a politician, and just by accident, I'm also a nuclear engineer.
How do you become invited?
I was trained as a nuclear engineer.
Okay. As a scientist, what is your view, especially as an environmentally interested scientist, what is your view on fluoride? That we have fluoride all around us in our toothpaste.
Which
in our
was not
water,
democratically voted
that
for
was
to be
actually
implemented.
Used by Nazi Germany on
It was first used in the Gulag, in the Russian gulags
to
too.
make people docile.
Yeah.
Why do we have that in our toothpaste, and why is that so spread around the world?
Drinking water in
different
America.
food products and different products that we
It has.
ingest.
It has.
Isn't that a problem from an
Fluoride.
environmental point of view?
Fluoride has also some positive effects on the
Well, first they said it was internal, then they said it was
Hold
external.
on, please. Some positive effect on your teeth. So basically, that's why it's in toothpaste. But it has also some negative effect. And that's where and if you think you should regulate it out of our food, there's loads of stuff that is regulated out of our food.
But the
Fluoride
problem is
could be one of
we
them.
didn't.
If you vote on it
My
in the
point was
Netherlands or in Europe,
we
we
didn't
regulate
vote to
it out of our
implement
food.
it. Isn't that an issue that the democratic process didn't
Sometimes
vote
it works the other
on-
way around. Sometimes
but
you
isn't that an
vote
issue?
You vote to get something
But
out of it.
isn't that the complete opposite of democracy when something's imposed on you and then you have to fight to get it out? Shouldn't we have had a say whether it's fluoride or
I
water?
don't think you have a problem with fighting for something, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm losing.
I lose every day my fights, and you win some too.
Do you use fluoride
That's not
toothpaste
democracy
yourself?
though, to vote something out.
I'm not a fan. And then I'm going away. I'm renting this
Sodium
lady named
fluoride
Lost.
is
Yeah.
synthetic, extremely toxic.
I know.
And the natural fluoride is called calcium fluoride. Why are you not using that one? It's not
Sodium
dangerous.
fluoride.
I'm using
Very, very
Programs.
dangerous.
I'm not sure what kind of fluoride it is.
Because
Sodium
it's not
fluoride.
it doesn't make anyone money.
Have you had your name again?
Prozac,
You know more about that than I do.
Prozac,
Samsom. Hi.
SSRIs are filled with sodium fluoride because it makes you docile.
I hear him think, who the hell is
Did
that?
you hear what?
That's correct. There's loads of people in there that you think, who the hell is he?
Antidepressants
Well, I'm one of them.
filled with fluoride.
I'm one. Samsom is my last name. Diederik is my first name. I'm from the Netherlands.
You're from the Netherlands.
Yes. And you think, who the hell is he? Well, there's about 130 people in there, and you know a few of them. But most of them are just like me.
Actually, I don't
Not
really
most
care,
of
but
them.
I just wanted you to make sure that you answered this lady's question because they were actually.
I don't have the
Why is
answer.
antidepressant filled with fluoride?
I don't have the answer. I don't know.
I have.
I'm sorry.
It makes you docile.
Okay.
You're
And
feeding
that's why it is.
I will get into that.
The issue
I
there
will
is
promise I will
that
get into
we
that.
should have had a say in
I
it.
learn every day, yeah?
Right? We should have had a
Last
say in
one.
what's
What about
into your body.
Former Greenpeace activist.
Yes.
Why?
Because I joined politics, because I think democracy is a way to change things, and we don't agree on that. Everybody here, some of you do. And part of democracy, part of being a politician is that I try to become better every day. And therefore you sometimes go into a hotel room with scientists and business people, and sometimes you stand on a parking lot with loads of people around you with a camera. And both events make me a little better.
Thank you.
Goodbye guys.
Thank you.